Hi there, this is Andrew with Simple and Short, making a video on how to set up your Cryptotrader for the first time you use it with a bot, connecting it to your exchange. I'm going to use Bitfinex as an example here. My assumption is that you already have a exchange account set up and that you already have a Cryptotrader account set up. So the first thing you're going to want to do is decide a strategy that you're going to want to use. Obviously, I am biased here, as I like simple and short. Thing to keep in mind just with strategies is they're all different. Some are more aggressive, some are more safe. Obviously, this video isn't intended to look at any of those or make any claims on any of them, but what the best thing to do is just find something that aligns with your strategy or what kind of investor you are. So here with simple and short, you will have to rent some of them. Some of them are free. Obviously, I've already gotten access to the strategy, so I can simply click run. The one thing beforehand that you will want to check is just that it matches. If you're going to be using Coinbase and you want to trade Bitcoin with USD, you want to make sure that whatever strategy you choose has the appropriate market and type. So now that I've done that, I'm going to hit run. I'm going to be using Bitfinex and Bitcoin. Again, keep in mind that not all options are here, only what's available to the strategy. Give it a name, it'll help with the logs. I'm going to just call this BFX BTC after simple and short. And this one runs on the hourly. Simulated, you don't need an API key to set up. It'll just run it for make-believe. I'm going to choose live. You can now see that it's asking for an API key and an API secret. So now I'm going to go to Bitfinex and get that information. It's pretty similar across all of the exchanges, at least from what I've seen. I use Coinbase as my primary. This Bitfinex I mostly set up for testing. You can see I've got about $400 in USD just sitting there waiting to be traded. And if I go up to account, you can see API. So from here, I'm going to want to set up a new API key. Obviously, I'm going to get rid of this key afterwards because you're likely going to be able to see my information here. So I'm going to click on Create New API Key. Read only is fine. Obviously, anything in the withdrawal, you don't want to give any write. You may need to give margin trading. But if you're not doing margin trading or margin funding, really all you have to do is allow writing of orders. Bitfinex does have a nice little, give it a label. So I'm going to generate API key after giving it a label. And what this is going to do is it is going to give me a key and a passphrase. You can see here I've got multi-factor authentication set up for doing anything like this. I always recommend that people set up security strongly for doing these type of things. So if I go back to simple and short, I can quite simply now take this information. You can see there's API key and API passphrase. And I can really just copy and paste that information into my trader instance that's asking for it. Two simple little fill in the boxes. There is an advanced option, running hourly with tick offset will run it on the hour. If I were to put 15, it would run at 8:15. I'm going to set it up for 25 after so that we can maybe see the logs generate here. As you can see, it's 9:22. So I'm going to hit run. Now it's going to ask me for the parameters associated with simple and short. I only have $400 in that Bitfinex account, a little more, but I'm going to tell it to use $400 from that portfolio. One of the nice things with simple and short is if you have $1,000, you can use it to trade multiple currencies from the same exchange. So you could give 500 to Bitcoin and 500 to Ethereum. I'm going to let it decide when to buy rather than buying right now. Set the fees. the tolerance and how much I want it to run with, and I'm now going to hit run. If you had done something wrong, miscopied your API key, if your account at Bitfinex wasn't ready to trade yet, like you hadn't done the verifications that they require for you to trade, you may get an error message such as wallet not found, these type of things. Really, once you've made it here and you see Trader Instance started, you can see the balance. I was able to see that from my Bitfinex account. You're really good to go. So you can see here my tick offset was set to 25. So in just a minute here, we will see it basically make its first cycle. As we wait for that, one thing I will want to point out is that if you hit stop while running your bots, it's a hard stop. It's not a pause button. So anything that was done previously, anything in storage, patterns that it had learned about when to trade next will all go away. You'll be starting from scratch. That said, your parameter list, depending on the bot, at least with simple and short, you can do things like add funds. If I wanted to put another $600 and take this 400 to 1,000, I could come here, hit change, give it the new amount, and when it saves, what you'll see over here is a restart. You'll also see restarts if you get an update. People who make these strategies do have the ability to change the version and update them. You do not have to take them. You'll get prompted for that an upgrade is available, and you can choose to accept it. When you accept it, a restart will occur. So again, that restart is a little bit more like a pause button. It continues to basically take all of your settings and what it has learned. So really quickly, I'm going to go to another live instance just so you can see what it looks like. So I'm going to go here to my simple and short BTC that I run on the Coinbase exchange. You can see that I started this. If I go to the parameters, I started this one with $1,500 and told it to buy on start, but really took all the defaults other than that. And you can see over here from the logs, I made these logs very verbose, lots of information about most recent short high, short low, what it's currently trading at, what it was at when you bought it, when the bot plans to buy and sell. These are really flags, doesn't really mean a price, at least for simple and short. But you can see here I've made 20%, right around $300 in growth after the $48 in fees. So I've really made $348, but $300 that I've netted after the fees. You can also click on the orders tab over here to see when it's bought and sold. So you can see here that it was buying whole shares, and I made a change to the version that allowed it to leverage all of the more of the funds based on what was available. Hopefully this gave you an idea of how to set up your bot for the first time with the API and get things running. Thank you for joining me, and keep an eye out for other videos.